Hello everybody, if you are just tuning in, you are joining us here for Only Frames Season 2 of the Ramsgate Rail Pool League. Deep into the first frame, we have Scott Whitaker taking on the newcomer Ross Still, who you can see here is on the yellows, bringing that ball down, but he's not left himself many options. Looks like Scott has done a lot of clearing up with those reds as having only one left. What can Ross do here to ensure that he doesn't lose the first frame of his debut into Only Frames Season 2? Scott now onto the table with just one ball left to clear to see if he can pinch the first frame. That's a lovely long shot there by Scott. I'm surprised he hasn't tried to go for the safety. Just the black now. And that's 1-0 already, 55 seconds into the match. That's a brilliant start there from Scott. For those who remember, in Season 1, Scott managed to finish in third place of the Ramsgate Rail Pool League, ensuring his place in the top 4 knockouts between Chris, Jez and Jody, where Scott managed to reach the final against Chris and took him right to the line, only for just Chris to just pinch it after he went the whole season undefeated, winning absolutely everything that was on offer during the first season. But Scott this season will be looking to reach that final again with the chance to try and win the trophy for himself. But for those of you who remember last season, Scott was the most boringest player in the league. Also an even worse commentator, calling fluke shots when shots were called to pattern, looking for safeties when there was always an obvious pot on, just to try and get into his opponent's head. This guy loves a safety. He's so safe that he installs a dash cam when he goes on the bumper cars when the fair's in town. Though you would have noticed Scott has brought a more attacking prowess to Season 2 here in Only Frames, potting that red off the cushion into the left pocket, through the narrow gap between the yellow and the black, but missing on the second red, allowing the new boy into the frame. Not much is known about Ross, though some say his nipples are shaped like the Nürburgring and he can catch fish with just his tongue. But he's not allowing that first frame defeat to get into his head. He still has a few problem balls here with that top yellow and obviously the bottom yellow that's stuck to the red at the bottom left hand corner. Not sure what his intentions are, if he's going to try and bring that yellow down. It looks like he has. He's left a simple shot there for, whoa, editing, very poor. Looks like I've been doing it. But Ross has left Scott with an easy red if he can't do anything with this black. The only thing that is on is a double, unless he's got the finesse to roll that cue ball down to tuck it behind the black. He's gone for the double. Maybe he's going to try for the triple. He's putting Scott's ball for him. That's 2 shots to Scott, as that is a foul. Scott now has the possibility to have ball in hand to get a better angle, which looks like he has. And he's rolled that in for 2-0 into that middle pocket. 2-0 to Scott. We are now into frame 3 with Scott on the reds. There's a little bit of a different format this season, so we are still playing best of 8, but games are finished when one player reaches 5 frames first. With Scott being 2-0 up, he's already almost halfway there. Potted that ball nicely into the middle. I think he's left himself just shy of that red in the top corner that he's looking for. I think the red that's closer to him is just in his way. There isn't much else he can do other than go for one of his infamous safeties, but he has managed to clear it. That's an excellent shot, but now he's tucked up with the red at the top there. Again, leaving him no other option to go for this bottom red. Try and squeeze it through them 2 yellows into the bottom left pocket, which he's tried to. Very unlucky shot there from Scott. I'm surprised he hasn't tried to stitch Ross up in an attempt to gain one of his safeties. He's actually gone for a shot. I'm glad I was sat down for that. Bringing Ross into the table again. He's got a pretty decent table laying there. Dispatching that yellow nicely. He's got the middle yellow on the left-hand side. Looking at that yellow between the 2 reds, maybe probably thinking it's better to leave it there should he come off the table again. He's gone for the plant double, but he's missed it. Where's that yellow ball going? Don't look away, Ross. It has gone in. Now, that's what I call a fluke shot, Scott, which I'm sure won't make it into our best shots of the month that we do post on our other socials on Instagram and TikTok. For those of you that are new to the channel, we aren't just on YouTube, we are on Instagram. Our handle is only.frames8ballpool, and on our TikTok is onlyframes62, where you can follow us and interact with the players if you wish, and also view our best shots and worst shots of the month. You can also see shorts on there where we take on challenges, 6-ball challenges, 12-ball challenges, and also a new mini-series which is coming to TikTok in the near future called Tic Tac Toe. But back to this frame where Ross is now on the black and a chance to pull a frame back to make it 2-1, and he does very comfortably. That's 2-1 Ross. Nice long shot into the bottom left corner. Into fourth frame now. Ross has played a lovely cut on that red ball into the bottom right corner. These red balls are all here for him. If he clears this up, he can bring this game back to 2-2. Ross just having a little think here of the pathway he's going to choose to try and clear these reds, but it looks he's going for that middle into the right pocket. Last season, that pocket did have a tiny little lip on it, which made it quite impossible to pot some balls if you rolled it up too slowly, but Ross has dispatched that perfectly. He's going to try and plant this red ball in. Is it going to drop? Oh, it did. Wiped its feet on the way in, which is the opposite of Scott, who wipes his feet before he leaves the house. Lovely positional play there from Ross, who's now just got 2 easy balls left. This one surely going to take down the bottom to bring that cue ball naturally back up the table. Gives it enough pace to get onto that top red. He doesn't need to hit it too hard, as the cloth on these tables is very, very fast. And he's absolutely willied that. Potted one of Scott's balls, and the black handed Scott the frame to make it 3-1. He's now over the hill and just 2 frames away from victory. That's 3-1 to Scott now, who's back onto the table, back onto those red apples. As always, can't always see what Scott's doing because he loves standing in the way of the camera, but I think he's advertising space, which you can put onto the back of his head, and we will do it for all those entrepreneurs and people who want to get their businesses out there. We offer Scott's head and Noel's head, and our also a newcomer, Mark May. Scott dispatching these reds like no man's business here, playing very attacking, which is unbelievable to see. It's refreshing to see here from Scott, but he has missed that bottom red, and again we've jumped miles ahead into the future. Unfortunately, I can't predict this game, but Ross has managed to get back onto the table. With 2 balls left, he's just dispatched one of them and just the one left. Now he's got a tricky decision to make. If he tries to go for the pot into that bottom right corner, he risks losing that white ball into the middle pocket, resulting in an infamous loo ball, giving Scott the advantage. I don't think he's going for that. I think he's going for the... Wow, what a shot that is. A back cut there. I didn't think that was possible, but Ross has the vision of a hawk. Some say you should never look Ross in the eye. No, you won't turn into stone, but you will fall madly in love. He's tried to do another cut for the black, but he has missed it, and he's potted the white ball, a loo ball, into that middle pocket, giving Scott the advantage. He's not going to go for his red here. Looks like he's going to try and develop that black closer to the pocket for an easier shot. He's brought it off the right-hand cushion and put it straight onto the left-hand cushion. Little bounce might have done him just the favour he needed. Excellent positional shot there from Scott after dispatching that red ball just onto the black. He makes it 4-1 comfortably. Ross now has an uphill battle. Scott is 4-1 up and has now secured himself a point, but he just needs one more win to win the match. Does Ross have a trick up his very, very short orange sleeves? I'm hoping he does, just to make this game a little bit more exciting. He's looking at something. I can't quite see what he's looking at. Looks like he's going for the cut into the bottom left pocket. Wow, what a shot. That will be entered into best shot of the month. I have no doubt about that. Again, you can watch these best shots and worst shot of the months and interact with the players on our Instagram and TikTok, where you can vote for your favourite shots and favourite worst shots of the month. There is a prize for the winner at the end of the season. Last year, your favourite commentator, Tom Morgan, was the winner of worst shot of the season, and Chris Matthews and Bradley Wall were joint winners of best shot of the season, with a little bit of controversy with the voting points there. But we won't get into that now. Now we are seeing if Ross has what it takes to bring this game back into his grasp. 4-1 down currently. He's left himself a tricky shot with this red where the cue ball is sitting at the bottom cushion. I don't think there's a potting chance here. The only thing he can do is try his best to get a safety. Not a bad effort. He's not left Scott on with too much. The plant is on, which we don't know what happens because, again, the editing looks like it's been done by me. Again, Scott is standing in the way of the camera. Where's that cue ball? It's still on the table, luckily. Only just by the looks of things. He's now complaining that there's too many balls to pot. He wants to play a safety. He doesn't want to pot these balls. He wants to stitch Ross up the best he can. But he's bitten the bullet and he's gone for a pot. And straight into the heart of that pocket. Straight as an arrow. He's gone for the cut here and that's snuck in very smoothly, leaving him nicely onto this middle yellow. He's got two problem yellows down here in the bottom of your screen by the black. If he can play a decent shot with this cue ball and try and disturb these yellows to get a better shot on. He's gone for it. Hasn't got enough swerve on there. They're still where they are. Only managed to nudge the black and just managed to stay out of that middle pocket. Looks like he can try and cut that top yellow into the bottom left pocket. He's nudged the black, taken it off course, and looks like he's planning ahead by stitching Ross up for a future shot by tucking that yellow up behind the black, should Ross be able to clear these red balls. Again, no problem there from Ross. He's not a bad player. The scoreline doesn't reflect his ability of playing. Scott has just been the better player on the day, taking his chances very well. Ross now has an issue here where he's got to try and disturb that black. He does brilliantly there. Oh, he's left himself a tight shot if he did pot that red. But he's not left Scott anything easy. I do think that yellow far into the middle of the table is potable. Should he be able to come back off the cushion. Should leave himself with an easy finish into that last yellow. Should he be able to dispatch this one, which he does comfortably. But he's gone the wrong way. Why didn't he put a bit of right spin to bring that ball back down the table? He's certainly keeping up our motto of bang average pool from bang average players and relatable pool for all our viewers out there. But nevertheless, he is on the black and dispatched it nicely for 5-1, and that's his first win of season 2.